In the year 1912, the world stood in awe of human achievement. The RMS Titanic, the largest, most luxurious ship ever built, rose proudly from the shipyards of Belfast. Over 882 feet long, designed with elegance and power, she was called unsinkable, a symbol of man's triumph over nature, or so it seemed. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic began her maiden voyage from Southampton, England, bound for New York City. On board were more than 2,200 souls, aristocrats, merchants, immigrants, children, all dreaming of a better life across the ocean. As she sailed away, cheers filled the air. No one imagined it would be her first and last journey. For 4 days, life on the Titanic was paradise. The wealthy dined under golden chandeliers, danced to orchestras, and strolled on marble decks. Below, third-class passengers sang folk songs, shared bread, and told stories of hope. It was a world divided by class, yet united by a single voyage, a ship of dreams. As the Titanic crossed into icy northern waters, messages poured in. Reports of icebergs floating dangerously close. But the sea was calm, the air clear. Confidence was her captain, and speed was her pride. The warnings were set aside, and fate was quietly waiting. It was Sunday night, April 14th. The stars were bright, the ocean still. Passengers laughed, danced, and fell in love beneath the starlit sky. No one knew the danger that drifted just ahead, a mountain of ice, unseen in the dark. At 11:40 p.m., the lookout shouted, "Iceberg right ahead!" The engines reversed, the wheel turned hard to port, but it was too late. The iceberg scraped along the starboard side, tearing open the steel hull like paper. The Titanic trembled. The unsinkable had been struck. Below deck, water poured in. 5 compartments were flooding, more than the ship could survive. Captain Edward Smith knew the truth. The Titanic would sink, and nothing could stop it. Lifeboats were uncovered. The crew shouted, "Women and children first!" Panic spread as people realized there weren't enough boats for everyone. Some refused to believe the ship would sink. Others prayed, holding on to loved ones as the freezing wind cut through the night. Amid the chaos, courage was born. The band continued to play, calming terrified passengers. Fathers kissed their wives and children goodbye, giving up their places. The captain remained on the bridge, choosing to go down with his ship. In that darkness, humanity shone its brightest light. By 2 in the morning, the Titanic tilted high into the sky. The lights flickered once and went out. At 2:20 a.m., April 15th, 1912, the mighty Titanic broke apart and slipped beneath the waves. Over 1,500 lives vanished into the frozen Atlantic. Silence followed, the silence of the sea claiming her pride. In the lifeboats, survivors called into the darkness, but the voices grew fewer and fewer, until all that was left was the sound of the ocean. 705 people survived that night. Every one of them carried memories too heavy for words. As dawn broke, the rescue ship Carpathia arrived. Survivors were frozen, silent, in shock, were pulled aboard. Mothers without children, husbands without wives. The ocean had taken more than lives. It had taken stories, dreams, and futures. When news of the tragedy spread, the world was stunned. The ship that could never sink had sunk, and with it, humanity's arrogance. Across nations, mourning bells tolled, and the name Titanic became a symbol of both greatness and grief. Out of the wreckage came change. New safety laws were born. Lifeboats for all, radios on through the night, and ice patrols to watch the seas. The Titanic's loss became a lesson written in salt water and sorrow. In 1985, explorers finally found her, resting 2 miles beneath the Atlantic, silent, broken, but still majestic. A time capsule of human ambition and tragedy, preserved in eternal cold. The Titanic was more than a ship. It was a dream, a symbol of hope, love, and pride. But it was also a warning that no matter how mighty our creations, we are still guests upon this earth and upon its seas. Over a century has passed, yet her story still moves us, reminding the world that even the grandest dreams can sink beneath the waves. and still rise in memory. Subscribe for more stories like this.